Good evening, everyone. This is Pradeep Mal, Ambassador of Change from GETI, the Global Education and Training Institute of Lucknow. We are the premier training organization for teachers and principals in India and several parts of the world. And we have many in-service and pre-service programs. For more information, please go to 740-840-1000. Right now, you're on our disruptive education platform. And on this platform, we have met with and interacted with more than 1,450 educators from India and all over the world. And this evening, we have for you Mrs. Haarrdika Rajdev. She's a life skill coach. She is the CEO and founder of Sofweb Consultancy from Chennai, Tamil Nadu. Uh, She is a master NLP practitioner, success coach, genetic brain profiling company, career growth enhancer with a hands-on experience of 10 years and touched the lives of more than 10,000 individuals. And she has been awarded the best soft skills trainer for 2 consecutive years by National Institute of Soft Skills Training. On her professional side, she has worked as a corporate trainer with various organizations, including Amazon, HUL, AstraZeneca, MRF, Royal Enfield, and many more. Her aim as a skills expert and success coach is to take individuals on a journey of mindful transformation to stir the pioneers within them, thereby unlocking their potential to live to their fullest, to lead a spectacular living both personally and professionally. She is fond of Bollywood music and dance. And welcome, ma'am. Good evening. Thank you for being with us. She is going to be speaking on teacher burnout. Thank you, ma'am, and over to you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Pradeep, for this wonderful introduction. And it's really a privilege to me to share my perspective on this wonderful platform. So, not taking much of time, I, Haarrdika, would begin with today's topic. And before we just go ahead, burnout. I mean, it's a very heavy word that we are going to be talking about today. Though I want to inform everybody here watching this, this presentation or this perspective of mine, rather, I would say that whenever we have a problem, which usually as an NLPN we call it as just a situation, there is always a solution. So I'm going to be sharing to you today exactly as to what is this problem and how, and what are the different ways, simple ways, by bringing small changes in your lifestyle, in your mindset, how you can really overcome what you're going through. Because burnout is something, especially in different industries, this has been experienced by a lot of them. I would say every individual at one point or the other reaches to this threshold, right? And it's a threshold, and beyond that it's just an outburst, and you see how what really happens to the individual, right? So moving ahead, I would first want to give you a scientific approach, or maybe a Google search when you do, as to what exactly is burnout. So let's begin from there and then take it ahead. So burnout is a psychological term for the experience of a long term exhaustion or diminished interest. So, generally, we talk about wear and tear only to non tangible things. We say that, it could be a machinery, a mechanism, or something of that sort, which where we say that there is a wear and tear. But we forget that as humans, there is a lot of wear and tear that happens within us also in different aspects, right? It could be our mental health, our emotional stability, and that to a very large extent reflects on our physical health. Okay, so it is due to lot of pressures that we take on ourselves. So it is very easy for people to say that yeah, what is life, you should not be stressed, you should be stress free, you should be like, so if somebody is under work pressure, don't take stress, just manage your time, just manage this, things will work out for you. Though it is very important for us to understand that once we place ourselves in that person's shoes and feel what they are going through, the intensity of that particular pressure that they are going through, then only we know that what is the kind of mental and physical stress that that person is going through, right? So what I'm really looking out to share with you all over here today is, yes, we all do have our own set of burnouts, our own set of stresses that we are going through. Okay, it's not an overnight journey where you can just have a magic wand, or just do whoosh whoosh or something like that, and things will next day morning just be perfect, seamless, everything so smooth sailing. No, it's not going to be that way. Though once you are self aware of it, right, then it is a time where you should take a step forward and implement the different ways in which you can come out of that situation. Okay, that is what most is more important, and I want to pass this message across today through this platform. Okay, so pandemic has taught us a lot of lessons, good, bad, and with due respect, we have lost a lot of things, but at the same time we have gained also a lot of things, saying that emotional, mental and physical balance, or concentrating on these areas of life, is very, very important. After training and coaching a lot of individuals and corporates, and coming across a lot of people in my own personal life also, I have realized that we always run behind our day to day routine. We had become completely mechanical, right? And when it is a mechanism, when it is a machine, wear and tear is going to happen. The burnout is going to happen, right? So now bring the same concept onto our us as humans. We had forgotten ourselves as humans. We were just taking ourselves as a mechanism. Whether you're a homemaker, a working professional, you could be anybody, a teacher, a trainer, a mother, a father, whatever it was. For us, what it was earn money, give the best to our family, and in the course of it, what we forgot is ourselves. The centric was ourselves, where we forgot ourselves, and that's where the burnout started happening within us. So this burnout is a state of emotional, mental and physical exhaustion. At one point you're like, I'm done, I'm just done with this, and I want to move away from it, right? I'm sure most of us can relate to, at least at some point or the other, such kind of situations that we must have faced in our lives. Okay, so it makes you feel very overwhelmed, and basically you're just unable to be everywhere where we want to be everywhere, right? We want to be fulfilling our own dreams and aspirations. We want to be for our family, we want to be for our parents, our children, on the professional end, for our bosses, and for everybody. What I'm trying to say is, but constantly when we are trying to meet everybody's demand, it's very overwhelming, right? And this at one point of time gets you to feel in a manner that it's just not productive. You're feeling drained out, and to the extent that it is quite helpless for you, you become very pessimistic about it. And to a larger extent, this thing moves further down and gets into a kind of a frustration and anger into you. Okay, so to very concisely tell you, eventually you may feel like you have nothing more to give. It's done. I'm at the threshold. It's done. Beyond this, I really have nothing to think about or to do or to, for that matter, to give to my family, friends, relationships, or even to your own profession. Okay. And why we are the specific topic that I was wanting to speak today about was teacher burnout. Though what I feel is, I don't want to go to a micro niche of this happening only to a teacher, because what it is this happens to many individuals, in fact all individuals, as I said, at any point of time. Maybe the intensity varies of each one, though we all go through it at some point or the other, right? I'm sure you guys and we all are on the same page with this. Okay. So moving ahead, let me deep dive a little more into this word called burnout. So, burnout, as I've already told you, is a term which is frequently used to describe your emotional and physical exhaustion, okay, which is experienced by people as a direct result of what? Of excessive study or work which is related to stress, in the sense that you are always working. You know, in Hindi they say talwar ki nok pe, right? So you're always working right at the edge of everything. Okay. So burnout can cause significant physical and emotional, psychological, and even spiritual damage to people, because there is no focus. You're completely drained. Okay. So we really need to first be aware of our entire our entire environment, and before that about ourselves, as to what is it that I really want to go ahead and do, right? Your purpose of life as a teacher, I mean, the most noble profession on earth, a teacher, because you are nurturing the individuals there. You're nurturing the future of our globe. Okay. So keeping that in mind, it is very important that you as a person, as an individual, are physically, emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually, all your quotients of your life are balanced, or at least you are at a journey of being keeping it balanced, because what you are going to be projecting about to yours, about yourself to the future generation, they are going to just literally keep modeling you, right? Guru Devo Bhavo, right? So the guru is somebody who the future really looks upon. So it's a shout out to every individual, but of course especially to the teachers, the trainers, the coaches who are watching this and who are going to be taking forward. Take charge of yourself. It's very, very important. Have clarity, have focus to where you are moving ahead in a much calmer manner towards any situation that comes in front of you. Moving ahead, so this is what I was talking to you about. Most of us have days when we feel either totally bored because we don't have anything to do, or we are totally overloaded with work. And most importantly, this triggers when we are unappreciated, right? This is a very important factor that we all need to remember and practice in our lives. So few days back I was listening to FM radio, and it was world's compliments day. It's very important to share a compliment to any person who touches our lives in any manner. So gratitude, of course, is something which we should inculcate and make it as an habit for ourselves, but even complimenting. Just imagine if somebody just turns around and comes to you and says, good morning, you're looking so fresh and energetic today. Just when you're entering the school premises or when you're entering the office, How are you going to feel about it? Obviously, you're going to feel good about it, right? One little thing that you have done for somebody and somebody comes and appreciates you, saying that, you know what, thank you. I mean, you really did it so well for me, and I'm so thankful to you for it. It's going to make you feel good, right? So ultimately, as humans, what do we want? We want to be happy, joyful, and we want to spread the light of happiness and joy to our environment also, correct? So make it a habit to compliment people and to share your gratitude to people, because what you give comes back to you. So it's a circle. It's a life is a circle, right? So what you give is going to come back to you. What you sow is what you're going to reap. So let's reap the best skills, the best emotions, the best feelings for ourselves, so that when we do that, सामने वाले को अगर नहीं भी बोलना होता है, you know, if they don't even want to feel like complimenting you or greeting you or sharing their gratitude, but kahin na kahin, you know, there will be a smile, there will be some kind of reciprocation from their end, which is going to help you go on for that particular day. So it would be a real good practice for all of us to make this into a habit, and the habit of appreciating others and giving our gratitude to whatever little things. It's not necessary it has to be something really big. No, because that little thing, by those people who are touching you on your day to day life, is keeping you happier, right? So then why not give them that gratitude, share that gratitude to them? So let's go ahead, and from today, all of us should make this as a ritual in our day to day life. So, on the way of this burnout roadmap, as I told you, every day to you might sound as though it's a bad day, right? It could be that you might be feeling that it's a complete waste of energy to what I'm doing. Why? Because essentially over here you're not getting recognition, you're not getting that appreciation, right? So that is one of the reasons why I was asking you all to make that into a ritual as such. Okay, moving ahead. So because of it, everything will sound to you as a waste of time, totally exhausted doing whatever you're into. Okay, you will feel that whatever you have done, to you might feel that yes, this is something that should have made a difference to the other person. Though when you don't receive an acknowledgement from their end, that's where this slowly gets accumulated, and at that one point it reaches a threshold, and then you're like, just leave it, this is just not happening. You completely get into a negative zone where, you know, you see that how energetically you begin. That's what I want to see the curve in which you come down, where the output was of complete satisfaction. You just reach to a place where you feel a sense of it's at a waste of time, energy, myself. So it's a complete collapsing level that you're reaching. So somewhere we are here, and lot of us are dipping down. So let's not dip down. What we need to do is we need to come back, we need to fight back, we need to get back and create that balance for ourselves. We surely cannot dip down into that collapsing state ever, right? And for which it is very important, again I'm reiterating the point, self awareness is the vital step that you can take initially, to know what are those things which are making you feel like this. Okay, moving ahead. To deal with burnout, we've spoken so much about burnout, and I'm sure you all must be like, yes, this is what people around me are experiencing, or maybe I am experiencing, and I need to find some ways to come out of it, right? So You can take your a mentor's help, a coach's help to do so. On the other hand, all by yourself, there are three steps, our three cube, our approach, the 3R approach, which you can follow, which you can do. And this is surely going to help you by yourself to come out of this zone and lead a more happier life for yourself and your environment. And the first one would be recognize, watch those warning signs, figure out what those are, which I am going to be discussing with you. You might feel sometimes that I don't know how to find out, I'm feeling like this, I'm feeling like this, but I don't know how to recognize the signs of burnout. So that's something which I'm going to be sharing with you in the course of time. So first, recognize them. The second are, reverse them. Okay, there is always an undo, always an undo available for you. So undo, if there is a redo, there is always an undo. Please remember that. We can surely reframe our lives. Whatever has happened, we cannot change that. I'm not telling you that whatever has happened, we can change that. Though we can reframe it in a manner, we can undo it in a manner, in such a manner that hereafter the damage or the intensity of it is going to keep lowering and lowering and lowering, and for all you know, one day it might just disappear, right? So undo the damage by managing stress and seeking support. Take support if you really feel it is required. And last and most important, resilience. Build your resilience to stress by taking care of your physical and emotional health. Very, very important. This is where your pessimistic mindset moves to an optimistic mindset. This is where your locked growth mindset, you have locked it, okay, bus, this is what I can do, this is what it is. Open, unlock it. So I always tell, in all my programs, that, and even to people who I talk to, you can and you should unleash your unique potential, because we all are unique. Are these 10 fingers the same size of each of us? No, right? We all carry our own unique potentials. It's very important for you to unleash them. It's very important for you to recognize them. Build a resilience in such a manner that you're taking care, you are taking control of your own life, and it is not that you're a puppet who is dancing to the tunes of somebody else. You need to be empathetic. I do agree on that. We do have to work as a team, though not at the cost of your own self respect, self esteem, or your own self, to be imprecise. Okay, so we've spoken so much about burnout and stress. Let me just give you a small gist as to what is the difference between stress and burnout. So, stress is where emotions are overactive and it produces an urgency to do things. You become very hyperactive. And when there is an urgency to do things, obviously there is going to be a loss of energy. And to a larger extent, this leads to anxiety disorders also. So the primary damage that happens over here is your physical health. Okay, that's where stress falls under. Now when you look at burnout, burnout is something where your emotions are completely blunted to you. It reaches to makes you reach to a stage where you feel completely helpless or hopeless about, obviously, yourself, right? Or whatever task you're doing. Why? Because there is no motivation into it. You do not have any clarity as to where you're moving ahead. There is no roadmap. There's, you can't see anything ahead, right? So that loss of motivation, those ideals, it's completely hopeless which is in front of you. This, to a very large extent, makes people detach, and one step ahead leads them into depression also. Here, the primary damage is caused to your emotional quotient, right? So life would be just like, I don't know. I don't know where I'm heading to. I don't know why I am here. I don't know why I'm living. So it's completely a helpless and a hopeless situation that you are led into. So I hope this is clear to everyone. Moving ahead, causes of burnout. You need to know. That's what we were talking about, right? Recognize, right? So you need to know from where is this coming to you. So usually there are three main verticals from where causes of burnout happen. And the first one being, it could be a work related, it could be a lifestyle related, or it could be a personality trait itself. I'm going to be sharing with you I'm going to be taking you describing each of them to you over here, right? So when it is a work related cause of burnout, what really happens is you're feeling that everything is out of your control, or maybe little of it is out of your control. There is a lot of lack of recognition, rewards for any good work that you have done. Okay. uh, Unclear and overly demanding job expectations can lead you to this. Okay. N number of times, due to monotonous work, switch on, switch off, switch on, switch off. That's it. That could lead you to such kind of burnouts, or even if they are unchallenging, right? So high pressure environment where the pressure of deadlines, or the pressure of working in under high pressure work environment could lead you to such burnouts. Okay. Moving ahead, lifestyle. Lifestyle is where you do not have enough time for relaxing or socializing. You need to give time to every aspect of your life, right? Or when you are expected to do too many things for too many people. Basically, you are the sole one who needs to look after everything. Taking responsibility of not only yourself, but taking responsibility of everybody else around you. Okay. Without enough help, surely is going to lead you to a burnout, right? And this is, of course, is going to be so stressful on you that you're not going to have enough sleep. Okay. And the last and most important thing, when you do not have a good relationship with your relations. Okay. This could be one of the vital reasons for a burnout. The last vertical is, a personality trait can contribute to a burnout, right? Perfectionist tendencies. Nothing is ever good enough for them. Okay. So I have a perfectionist in my life, and you do what you want, they are never happy. And what really happens because of that is, they are unhappy with whatever they see in front of them. See, it's not that I'm telling you that being a perfectionist is not good or something like that. It is good. Though, always remember one thing, that each of us, again, I'm repeating, each of us are unique. What may not be perfect to you could be that to the other person it's completely perfect, right? So it is more of, what is the definition of being a perfectionist in my dictionary. That's very important. And here it is very important for you to understand one thing, that we should respect the other person's model of the world. I mean, as an NLPN, it's going to come out over here. And the day, I have experienced this personally in my professional end. So I do have a few of my signature programs which I conduct for individuals as well as corporates, which has already been told to you. So I develop my content on my own, and every time I was looking at that content, no, I think it should be a little more better. I think I should add this also. I think I should do this also. And at one point of time, when I was looking at it, it was so overwhelming for me itself. And then I said, if I put myself in the shoes of my client and see how is it going to be. So begin with what you have. That's more important. It's very important for you to think in this aspect also. Pessimistic view of yourself and the world. This is another thing. When somebody approaches me and says that, can you do this? I don't tell them that I cannot do it. I tell them I surely would want to do and see how I am doing it. It's very important that we remove this word no and not from our dictionaries, because the moment we say no, you've not even given 0.5% way of saying that, yeah, I can try, I can do it. Trying is also not accepted. I can do it. You've not even given that little leverage to yourself. You've immediately told your brain, listen, you know what, we cannot do this. And the brain is like, okay, we cannot do this. That's it. So that's not the way it really works. Just get the pessimistic view about yourself and the world out of your system. Look at it in a different manner. We have always heard the grass is greener on the other side. It could be greener. Just peep out and see. Don't stand here and judge, right? Don't stand on this end and judge, saying that the grass would be greener on the other end, or maybe it is a barren land on the other end. Don't judge. Rather, take a step forward, peep into it, and see if you can really see something for yourself into it, right? The need to take control about yourself is another important thing which leads to burnouts. And for people who feel that highly achieving type A personality, everything to be A class, everything to be the best, it's good, though everything within a limit is only good for yourself and your system, your mechanism, right? So just let me take an example of that machine again. If I know that this machine can run and be very productive only for 8 hours, and I say no, let me run it for maybe 12 hours or 14 hours, what's there, it will perform. Trust me, after a point of time, the wear and tear which is expected of that machine after 5 years, you will be seeing that maybe in 2 years or maybe even in a lesser time, right? So, work according to what your mechanism is all about. So, what are these signs? So, this is exactly how would you know that, what are the warnings? Those red lights, those warnings that you're going to figure out in yourself or in anybody who's going through the symptoms of burnout. So, burnout basically would give you physical signs, emotional signs, and behavioral signs. So, physically, you might start feeling very tired, loss of energy, fatigue feeling, and it's like you don't have a motivation to do anything, right? Emotionally, as we've discussed, it would be a very pessimistic way of looking at things. You feel totally helpless about yourself. You're like you have no motivation, or you do not have anything under your control, right? And the behavioral signs also, after a point of time, they lead you to anxiety, depression, a complete frustration about yourself, thinking that I'm just fit for nothing. So Recognize these warnings at the initial stage rather than repenting later on. Of course, you can always reframe it, you can always come out of it. Though, if you are able to reach the self awareness stage in an earlier point itself, the damage is less. So, you will be able to recoup out of it much faster, right? So, moving ahead, as we were discussing, the physical signs, I've told you, you might feel exhausted, very low in your immunity, frequent headaches, back pain, some kind of muscle aches. There is a change in your appetite or your sleep habits, is a sign, is something that your body wants to tell you. Listen to your body. Okay. Emotional signs could be a signs of failure, self doubt, as I've told you, feeling helpless, completely trapped, loss of motivation. You're so pessimistic about yourself and your environment. So, what behavioral signs could be? I mean, what could be the behavioral signs is what we are going to be discussing now. So you will not be ready to take responsibilities. You will isolate yourself, right? Socializing basically comes down. You take very long time to do things. On an extreme case, a lot of them get into a habit of some kind of food, or drugs or alcohol to just cope with it. Okay, you take out your frustration on others, skipping work, skipping your daily rituals, your daily habits. Time management is completely zero, so you reach late, you leave early. So why all this happens? Because you really do not have any kind of motivation towards that work, right? So now is the real thing, what you can really do to bring yourself out of this situation, or if you know somebody who is into this situation, because it is very very important for us to always move ahead in our life. We should not live in our past or worry about the future, though rather enjoy our present. Okay, so these are 6 tips from my end which I'm sharing with you, which if you follow as an habit, and if you really start working on this, it's surely going to show you the kind of difference that you want to see in your life, for yourself, your relationships, as well as your professional end. The first one be, start your day with a relaxing ritual. As soon as you jump off of the bed, you're out, just don't calm yourself down, don't run for your mobile, or just first thing what you need to do is, first 15 minutes meditate, write a journal, or do some kind of exercise, listen to some soothing music that you like, just go for a walk, or read something that inspires you. Okay, this is going to surely help. I have been following this, guys, so these are time tested tips that I'm sharing with all of you. Adopt a healthy eating, exercising, and sleeping habit. When you eat right, engage in regular exercises, and take plenty of rest, what you really do is you energize yourself and you build a resilience for yourself also. So that is going to help you go ahead, move ahead towards your day to day activities, or whatever is the task that you are looking out for. Set boundaries. We always feel, I mean, in fact, I am a person who finds it very difficult to say no to people, right? Because what I used to think is, what will happen? What will they think about me? Or, they might feel bad about it. Though at one point, I realized that it is harming me physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, right? So you need to set a boundary. Trespassers beyond a certain limit are not allowed. It's very important that all of us, set these boundaries for ourselves. Over exertion. Learn to say no to requests on your time, right? Yes, as I told you, you might find it a little difficult in the beginning to do so. Though we are not doing it in an aggressive manner, we are not doing this in a reactive manner. We should do this empathetically and in a responsive manner where the other person understands it very clearly that this is the boundary I have set, and beyond this, it's my time, it's me. Okay, when I am with you, I will do the job for you. Okay, setting your boundaries will really help you to come out of this burnout situation. Do implement this, and if you feel that it is, you're finding it a little challenging to do it all by yourself, do take help and do this for yourself, right? The next thing is, take a break from technology. We are so overwhelmed with technology. In fact, we are using technology right now also. Yes, though, just detox yourself or just stay away from it, take a break from it. It will surely help your mind think of other things that you can do. It will it will kind of enable you to bring in the creativity that you yourself have. Your own potentials will get unleashed over here, right? And that's what is the next point. Nourish your creativity side. And to nourish your creativity side, you really need to be very calm. You really need to have a clarity towards where you're moving ahead, the purpose to what you really want to move ahead. And the last but not the least, learn how to manage that stress. And to manage that stress, that helplessness that you're going through or somebody else is going through, time management, prioritize your day to day routine, prioritize your your to do list. At the same time, see to it that you are able to give time for yourself, your relationships, and your professional end. Because it is very, very important for you to strike a life work balance. Usually, people talk about work life balance, right? Though my perspective is a little different here. That life, if there is life, if I am physically, emotionally, mentally balanced, and if I'm able to feel those emotions of happiness, joy, contentment, satisfaction, I will be able to spread it to my environment, at my workplace, with my relationships, right? So it is very important that we need to work on ourselves first to spread this light of joy, happiness, healthy, wealthier life that we are looking out for each one of us over here. So, as George Bernard Shaw says, life isn't about finding yourself, though life is about creating yourself. So happy creating yourself to each one of y'all. Thank you so much to the GETI platform to give me this time to share my perspective on this topic. And all of y'all stay blessed. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for that talk on teacher burnout and how to deal with it. I'm sure it is of great help to all the teachers and even to others who are tuned into this. And good evening, everybody. And before I leave, I request you to watch our detox, which are part of our disruptive literacy movement by Global Dream, which is an initiative by Dr. Sunita Gandhi since 2014. The whole idea is to ensure everyone's participation by a people's movement to ensure total literacy and numeracy, that is foundational literacy and numeracy for all our brothers and sisters. Basically, each one teach one, and those of us who can afford to teach more than one should be doing that. And on this, we have several talks every day. And for more information on this, please go to 740-840-1000. So thank you, Haarrdika, Rajdev ma'am, for that talk. And good evening, everybody. Goodbye, and see you again tomorrow. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye, everyone.